Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Farmcast. We're back, and the Packers are currently the one seed in the NFC. And not currently, they clinched it up. We finally did it, and we have a pretty good idea of what the playoffs are going to look like. Technically not definitive yet, but we have most teams locked, and we're kind of gearing up for some playoff action. But the Packers are officially the one seed, and we can rejoice, finally.
Felt good.
We can rejoice.
Fenner and I were at the game on Sunday. We got to see that beat down in the cold and live in person. Felt real good.
It was very cool.
Yeah, that game was there was a no-doubter from the first snap. I mean, Sean Mannion under center. It was kind of
Mike Zimmer at coach.
That too. Did you guys see they asked Matt LaFleur earlier in that week? Because he had so he had coached Sean Mannion before. I can't remember at what stop, but they asked him like, "Hey, are you going to go back and look at some of your old your old notebooks or whatever, try to refresh yourself on Sean Mannion, scout him up?" And he just said, "No." I told you all you need to know because Sean Mannion was fucking horrible.
Well, that's like who's the next up QB that they got last year in the draft in the third round?
Kellen Mond. They played him for like one series, and I don't understand why they didn't play him more, but then again, it's Mike Zimmer. I'm not going to ask questions.
They asked, they're like, why didn't we see? Should we expect to see any more Kellen Mond? And he just said no. They're like, can you elaborate? He's like, because I see him every day.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the fact that Mike Zimmer isn't fired right this second is very funny. He literally roasted a young QB. Oh, man. It was, honestly, he gained some respect from me. I say keep Zimmer.
He knows he's on the way out anyways. Fuck it.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
Burn it down.
Yeah.
That's what I would do if I was a coach. Fuck it. If I'm about to get fired, if I'm Matt Nagy right now, I'm doing all kinds of weird shit. I'm toasting everyone. I'm calling Justin Fields a bust.
Oh yeah.
I'd be getting real weird. I mean, You're not probably going to get another head coaching job. It's over. You might as well just kick the whole place down on the way out. Like, Matt Nagy should just get weird. He should just force like Tariq Cohen to play. He should just
toss him out there.
Cohen?
Yeah. The fact because he got hurt last year, and like it was a bad injury, but like. The fact, like, he hasn't touched the field again after that contract.
I haven't heard anything about it either. I'm going to look that up. The last time I heard about him was, like, week 2.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, it'll take a while or whatever. But, like, it's been more than a while. I did want to bring up, since we're talking about coaches right now, I just want to see if you guys have any opinion or any take about this Bruce Arians, Antonio Brown thing right now that's going on.
It's weird. Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, like, I just read before we started recording, I was reading Antonio Brown's, statement that he put out. Adam Schefter tweeted it. And I don't know a whole lot about Bruce Arians, admittedly. But, like, it does seem like a very football coach thing to do, to scream at somebody to get in the game, even though you know they're already playing injured. And then when he says, no, I can't, go, you're done. That's what
It's a football guy thing. I got it.
It is. It is. No, but like I also don't blame Antonio Brown for being like, fuck you. I'm already hurt. I was hurt before the game. I tried playing. I can't,
The only thing is that I think I would give almost any other player the benefit of the doubt and think, yeah, you're probably telling the truth. Antonio Brown is not one of those players I'm going to believe. Just everything that has come to light about him just makes me not really... I don't know. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but I'm not going to just believe it.
I was going to say...
I get that. He does seem like his head has been like on straighter since he's got to Tampa Bay. There hasn't been much going on around him, right? Am I forgetting anything?
He threw that bike at the security officer. I'm pretty sure that was when he was in Tampa.
Yep, that was Tampa.
Oh, that was when he was in Tampa?
Yeah,
okay. I thought that was before. Okay.
But like I get, yeah, it's been, I mean, better. I mean, he's not showing up to practice in a hot air balloon. He's not calling he's not calling the GM a cracker.
Which is sick, by the way.
Well, he's also been
hot air balloon thing.
Yeah.
He's been under the absolute jurisdiction of Tom Brady, who probably just doesn't let him go outside if he can help it. So I don't know. I don't really buy it, to be honest with you. I think he's just a kind of a clown, and whether it's, I don't want to speculate whether it's like, head issues, mental issues, just from playing football or whatever the case is, he might just be a dick. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't care one bit. I think it's very funny looking at this. Antonio Brown doesn't deserve any level of sympathy at all. So I don't really care. I think it's funny. And I love seeing the Buccaneers in a little chaos before playoff action. So
that was the whole thing, too. It's like, as a Packer fan, it's a real shame. That they lost. Like, listen, I feel bad for Chris Godwin. I really do. It's a real shame that all this is happening to the Buccaneers, though. Really hate to see it.
That's unfortunate about the injury. Why didn't you sign your contract a year earlier? Like, why didn't you get your money? Why didn't you get your money? I'm just saying.
I think he's still going to get paid.
Yeah,
he will. But why didn't you get your fucking money? Run it back? Fuck you. So whatever. I got a little soreness from last year.
Not a player empowerment guy. I'll say it.
Well, I'm just saying. We'll see what happens.
Zach says you should be grateful for what the owners offer you.
No, I'm saying don't. I'm saying don't. They didn't want. No, I say stick. He settled. He settled for what they gave him. What they tagged him, right? Like, he could have went out on the market and gotten like way more money.
Getting tagged doesn't really. You don't really have a lot of options once you've been tagged.
Yeah, that's not.
You can't really do anything.
Was it the tag?
Yeah.
Okay, it was the tag. Okay, then fine, whatever. You could sit out. Other people do it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. You could have gotten paid. That's all I'm gonna say. But hey, how about this one seed? Who, as Packer fans, confirmed one seed. Who do you want to see, and who do you not want to see? Just based on, and I'll pull up the playoff picture. But just based on what we know now, what do you want to see and not see?
What?
As in, like, who we play round 2, or
yes, yeah. Like, who? Yeah.
It's easy for me. Just narrative-wise, I want Mike McCarthy to come back to Lambeau so badly it's not even funny. I want to kick the shit out of the Cowboys. I think we will, and that is the matchup I really want, because I think the Cowboys are overrated. They're not playing particularly good football right now, and outside of, like, their stars, who, listen, they're great, but they're not a deep football team, and Trayvon Diggs will get a lot of picks. He also gets burned a lot. Devontae Adams will eat him for lunch.
We would, if the playoffs ended right now and this is how the picture laid out, we would play the winner of the Cowboys and Cardinals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't know if the Cowboys make it past the Cardinals. They got clapped last week in Dallas, and if that just happens again, I mean,
yeah. Honestly, I would prefer to play the Cardinals as opposed to the Cowboys, because I think the Cardinals are 100% frauds, and I know, like, it's hard to beat the same team twice or whatever. I really think that's like a bullshit narrative. We proved it in week 6 when we played them? Whatever. We proved that we can kick their ass. I think it was week 8, actually, because they were 7-0 going into it.
And we did that very short-handed, too.
Yeah.
On a short week.
Yeah.
I will say, too, we did get a little lucky at the end with AJ Green. We did get a little, yeah. I got
maybe if the Cardinals players played better, they would have won.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, like, I would rather have the Cowboys than the Cardinals, because, like, Dak has been bad. Like, really, he has been very bad. Outside of, like, beating Washington, like, the Cowboys in general haven't really looked incredible. They played bad teams when they win, and I just think, like, I think they're frauds too. I want them coming to Lambeau, and I want to kick the shit out of them. So my number one who I want the most is the Cowboys too. Assuming we can't get lucky with someone like the Eagles. Like, that would be awesome having the Eagles come here.
I feel great either way, honestly, between the Cowboys and the Cardinals. They are two warm weather teams coming up to Lambeau. As me and Kyle can attest, very cold in Lambeau this time of year. And I think that does matter a lot.
I think definitely.
Yeah.
And hey, hopefully this year in playoffs, we don't get like super unlucky in an NFC championship game in Lambeau where it's like 35 degrees and people are wearing t-shirts. And then you get a warm weather team.
It was that warm.
It was so fucking warm for that game. Bullshit. I'm telling you.
Listen, it's shaping up to be very cold. If it's anything like it was last week, it'll be a real chilly Lambeau.
That's perfect. Then
I'll
honestly,
tell you the one team, but on that cold weather note, kind of leads me into the team I do not want to play. We were talking about this a little before we started recording, but I don't want to face the 49ers. I think we would beat them, but of any of the teams that would come to play us in that first divisional round, no thanks. I still am haunted by what they've done to us in playoffs past, especially if Trey Lance is playing. I've seen that running quarterback thing before. They're built for cold weather. They're a team that, like, if they're playing their best football, which is a big if because their coach sucks, but if they were playing their best football, they'd be scary.
See, this is I'm happy to be in a good place mentally because I seem to be the only person who can get over PTSD on this podcast. Fenner wasn't ruling out the Seahawks until they were literally mathematically eliminated. Like,
you're right, yeah.
And last year, Seahawks going like, I am done with this bullshit in the past. I am done with it. 49ers suck. They're lucky. They aren't even, they're going into week 18 in the hunt. This team stinks. I don't care who it is, Jimmy G or Trey
Listen, when
Lance.
the Packers made the Super Bowl, they were in the hunt week 17.
That was a different time and a different coach. And by the way, a far better coach at that time. Probably one of the best we've had in the last decade in the NFL. I listen, the Niners are such frauds. Give me them. This is not a real playoff team. Any other year, well, no, I guess they would. They're technically the 6th seed right now. But this is not a legit team. Bring me the Niners. Bring me the Eagles. Bring me the Cardinals. Bring me the Cowboys.
Oh God,
any one of those.
PU. I can't believe they're 9-7. That is insane to me.
How did that happen? Like, I just wasn't paying attention to the Eagles in the slightest.
When you get to play the Giants and Washington, that helps.
That is true. That is a good point.
I don't think they've had a tough schedule. I mean, they have a really good offensive line, a pretty good defensive line, but, like, that's about it. I don't really trust Jalen Hurts to win playoff games.
No. Yeah. So, I've written off whoever gets to the Eagles. Congrats, you get your first round bye. It would almost be nice to be like that number 2 seed right now, whether it's going to be the Rams or the Buccaneers, or I guess the Cardinals could. Whoever is going to be that 2 seed, it's pretty nice because you're going to have to play the Eagles, and that might as well be a bye. That's almost better than a bye because you get a team you can beat, gain a little momentum. I'm scared that whoever gets that number 2, and I bet it'll be the Buccaneers.
If all of the seeding stayed the same right now, would the Buccaneers play the Cowboys?
No, they would play the Eagles.
No, they would play the Niners.
Oh, the Niners.
If this all stayed the same, yeah, they would play the Niners. Cowboys, Cardinals, Buccaneers.
Matchup, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers, like, they are a depleted. This is not the same Buccaneers team as last year.
Yeah.
Like, they have Tom Brady, so that makes them the favorite in pretty much every game they'll ever play.
Mm-hmm.
But they were remarkably healthy last year. But this year, their secondary is toast. They don't even have Leonard Fournette. They don't have their top 2 wide receivers. It's interesting.
I do. One of their top 2, I don't know if it's Mike Evans will be back though, right? Like,
he's playing, yeah.
Okay, and like honestly, Leonard Fournette will be back for the playoffs.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
I have a quick question. You don't think Mike Evans was one of the top 2 receivers on that team?
Yeah.
It's no disrespect to Mike Evans at all, but like with the way Chris Godwin was playing and the way Antonio Brown looked when healthy, I don't know. I mean, those 2 guys are phenomenal. Like Antonio Brown, I don't even think he's that far off talent-wise from where he was like a few years ago when he was just the god of the NFL. Like, I really don't think he's that far off.
That's fair, but the most important part in the NFL is availability, and that man had what, 4 games
Fine,
maybe?
I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
I'm strictly talking when they're playing.
I
He
guess.
had hunger. Mike Evans always felt like the afterthought in that offense when all three were healthy.
But I think Mike Evans still draws like the number one corner
Well, that's because of where he
when they
lines
play
up.
other
Yeah,
teams.
that's because Chris Godwin always plays the slot.
Right, but I mean, okay. Well, I was gonna say, if you're worried about one person and you have a line or a D back like Trayvon Diggs or somebody that follows somebody around, they're still following around
I don't
Mike
know how many.
Evans and they aren't following around Antonio Brown
I don't know
because
how
he's
many teams
32
do
years
that
old.
shadow stuff. I don't know if that's like that common anymore. Like I know some teams will do it with obviously like your Jaguars and like Stephon Gilmore and everything. I don't know if that's like super popular anymore because a lot of teams don't have that shutdown guy. Because like, I know the Packers. I don't even know if we really do it with Jair, to be honest.
I think it all depends on who you're playing. Like if you go against a stud wide receiver, then the Packers will do it.
Right.
But
We're getting off topic, but Buccaneers, they're obviously depleted. I mean, they still do have Gronk, who is the best tight end of all time, so that helps. But I'm not as scared of them as I was last year. That's what I'll say. That's all I'm getting to.
I would love a revenge tour. Maybe play them in the NFC. I would love that, an NFC North or NFC Championship game. That would be very cool. NFC
What
North,
team?
NFC Central Showdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what team in the NFC are you guys like? Do you least want to play?
Buccaneers.
Least want to Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I would like
Yeah.
it just for that narrative, but like they're the only team I'm legitimately like nervous for. I think the Rams are frauds. I think the Cardinals are weird. I don't believe them, but like I wouldn't be shocked if they got hot again just because I trust Kyler Murray enough.
I was gonna say, like, as much as I said I wanted the Cardinals, if Kyler just starts like running again, that gives me nightmares.
Yeah, like desperation mode Kyler.
Yes.
I did take Cardinals playoff or Cardinals Super Bowl odds went down to 1,800. I jumped on that because, I mean, if there's a team that can turn it up, we saw it early in the year, like how good they can be at their peak. It just, I don't know if they're at their peak, and I don't know if Cliff can go toe to toe with just better coaches out there. So,
like, which quarterbacks do you think can win 2 or 3 straight games, or 4 straight games? I guess if you count the Super Bowl, it's like
Tom
I don't
Brady
think-
and Aaron Rodgers.
Tom Brady.
Brady, Rodgers, I trust.
Yeah.
I don't trust Stafford to play 4 really good games in a row because he hasn't done it all year. Why would he start now? I don't really trust Dak. I could see it, but like
I
I don't trust him either. If you told me Kyler could though, like he feels like that X factor that's like really could be that guy to just take his game to that other level. He feels like the only other one.
Yeah.
Certainly not Jalen Hurts or Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Or Trey Lance.
Yeah,
Glad
It could be Trey Lance. It could be.
It could be, but I just saw like a report that Jimmy Garoppolo looked great throwing today.
Good. Love to see that. Love a healthy.
me too.
I'm cheering for health across the league, and Jimmy G being healthy is good for the league. But okay. Let's talk about what I think is way more exciting. The playoffs that I am way more excited to see. The AFC, because boy, the difference from the 1 seed, which right now is the Titans, to the 7 seed, which is the Chargers, is just not a lot. And I am so fucking pumped. This is like some March Madness excitement with like anything could really happen in these games. I guess like who do you guys think? Right now it's the Titans at the 1 seed, but how do you guys see this shaping up in the AFC?
Good God, I have no idea. I mean, I'm looking at this and my brain thinks you look at it and you're thinking, out of all these teams, I trust like Pat Mahomes, right? The Chiefs have been playing really well up until they ran into the buzzsaw that's Joe Burrow. Now I don't have a clue, dude. I have 2 bets right now in the AFC, just not because I think they're the most likely, but just I liked their numbers. I got the Bengals to come out, and I have the Titans to come out, which shouldn't feel like an upset considering they're the number 1 seed. But the way they're getting healthy getting Derrick Henry back, they just got to win 2 games, and they're in the Super Bowl. So I really think the Titans have an actual shot. But if you told me like, oh yeah, Josh Allen just went crazy in the playoffs and then they're in the Super Bowl, I'd believe that too. I really do. It's so exciting.
It's awesome. It is fucking because you can make an argument for every single one of these teams in the Super Bowl, and I wouldn't be surprised. I also did hop on Bengals Super Bowl odds.
Yep.
Thank God it was right before the Chiefs, so that wasn't too crazy. The Chiefs, I think, still have the best odds for winning the Super Bowl, though.
For winning the Super Bowl?
From what I saw, I think they do.
I
have
see
the
Packers
best.
comfortably.
Oh, I see. See, I saw Chiefs at like 400, Packers at like 450, if I remember correctly.
I am looking at Bet Online right now, and they have Super Bowl to win. Packers plus 315. The next closest is the Chiefs at plus 525. Who do you think is in third? Or they're tied for third, I should say.
Tied for third?
Yes.
The Buccaneers, I would assume.
One of them.
And the other one, is it
Patriots?
Patriots?
Another AFC team.
It's the Bills.
It's the
Bills.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I see it. We keep seeing like Josh Allen just kind of not really choking, but not really playing great in the playoffs the last few years. I feel like this really could be the year he takes that step. I don't know why. I don't know. I feel good about it.
I do too.
Josh Allen's another one of those guys where it's like he could just go crazy for 3 games, and he can go crazy in a way like no other quarterback could, because he could pass for 300, rush for 100, and completely take over a game in every way.
Mm. Yeah, no, I agree. And just like looking, the AFC still can get really shaken up. Like there is a scenario where the Patriots are the 1 seed. Like that's how much things can shake up. So this picture's not perfect. But if it does end the way it looks right now, I think the best thing for the Bills is to face the Patriots right away at home. You get revenge on them for what they did to you at home last time. And I think they win that game. I think it's like if it isn't dog shit weather, I think they win that. And then like I said, even though you make a good case for the Titans, and I don't disagree one bit, I've been a Titans guy on this pod for a little bit.
Yeah,
I think they're great.
Titans guy.
Yeah, and I am a big Titans hater.
Yeah,
I was. I have given up.
They keep doing it.
Lost that battle comfortably. Yeah. Like I think they either set a record or they led the NFL this year in most players played for them this season. I mean, Mike Vrabel is like, Matt LaFleur is probably going to win Coach of the Year. It should be Mike Vrabel by a mile, because the things he has done to patchwork that team together, it's insane. It's sensational.
Yeah.
I simply disagree. Matt LaFleur is a great coach, and he deserves every award that's coming his way.
Listen, it's fine, but I'm just, with the context of the team and at what they've done, it's really impressive.
It's interesting you say that, Fenner, only because I want to bring this up again, because we talked about earlier in the season, and I was very different than you guys on this one, but you guys both said, like, it's too early to tell if Matt LaFleur is a good coach yet. Can we finally say he is a good coach?
I never hated Matt LaFleur, don't get me wrong. Like, it was hard to just judge with, you have his first 2 years, it's like he's getting carried by Aaron, and it's great, right? But I think it started to change this year where Aaron has all this off the field shit in the off season, right? He has the COVID thing. He has all this other like off the field drama where that's really going to affect the team when it's like a guy of Aaron Rodgers' stature causing basically just tons of distractions, right? But he's kept that team together, focused. They've been ready to play. I think this has been like this season, because of everything going on with Aaron, that it's like, it's really become like his team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very impressed with what Matt LaFleur has done this season. Super impressed. I think he would deserve to win it. I just think Mike Vrabel should really be in the conversation.
A big thing that turned me, and I know like Matt LaFleur, like offensive minded or whatever, but like the last 2 years, our defense has been like pretty bad, right? And our defense, like every part of this team, there's no like weak spot really. Like if there was a Packers weak spot, what would you say it is?
Stopping the run.
Stopping the run. But even then, like
No,
it's
we
not
just
like
we just held
we're not
Dalvin Cook to
awful.
13
We're not
yards.
awful at stopping the run. I think we are at least average in every category. You know what I mean? And superior in a couple categories. Just like I don't know, the team just seems to be clicking and playing, and everybody, including with the Aaron Rodgers stuff, like there's no other like off the field issues that's going on. He might be more of like a player's coach than I thought he was. You know what I mean? He seems to get along with the guys, and the guys seem to only have good things to say about him.
See,
You know,
I
So-
agree. I kind of went the other way with that, where I always thought he was a player's coach, but not necessarily. That's as like a positive. Like sometimes you got to be the guy to like take charge of the players. You can't always like acquiesce to them. You know what I mean? You gotta
Right.
take charge of a room, and clearly he's shown the ability to do that. Keep the chemistry good, the mood light. Like the team's been just great all year. I mean, it's incredible. And another thing, like in the offseason when he hired Joe Brady to be the defensive coordinator, like that was not a popular hire at all. People were confused because Joe Barry did not have a good track record through college, the NFL, and clearly he saw something nobody else did. And Joe Barry's been an awesome coordinator for the Packers because they don't make those stupid mistakes anymore. The tackling's been great. They don't have just breakdowns for no reason anymore. It's just a well-coached team across the board, except special teams. But what are you going to do?
So the one thing I really have a problem with are people who say like, oh yeah, I'd do that if I had Aaron Rodgers at quarterback too. Mike McCarthy had Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, and his last 2 seasons in Green Bay were dog shit seasons where we were under 500 and didn't make playoffs. Like, yeah, like injuries were a problem for that point, but even Matt LaFleur's first season, Aaron wasn't like great. Like, this is kind of like revisionist history now that we've had 2 MVP seasons, but his first year with Matt LaFleur, he was very good. He's still a very good quarterback, but like it wasn't impressive number-wise.
The first season, the Packers were like an objectively very lucky team.
Yeah. And like, but like I think like there is something like that was impressive. Another like 13 wins every time. And it's like I feel like that's Aaron. The reason why we get these seasons are he's falling into this system and this vision that Matt LaFleur has. And I mean, I think like it starts with Matt LaFleur and it starts with Goot of like building this team. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers is MVP. He's all this stuff, but Matt LaFleur is also up top 3 coach of the year. I would also give it to Vrabel for the record. I would also. I just think it's insane how good they've been. But Matt LaFleur should be number 2.
Or number 1. Listen, it's not going to exactly hurt my feelings if he wins Coach of the Year. I won't be too upset about that.
Right.
I'll say it. But going back to the AFC, I am so excited to see these guys. Like, there's going to be – this is like a few weeks ago, we were looking at the AFC playoff picture. It looked full. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the cream of the crop has really come out to play. I mean, look at the quarterbacks we're potentially going to have in the playoffs. You're going to have
Ryan Tannehill, Mac Jones.
You're going to have Mahomes, Joe Burrow, who has just taken over the NFL the last few weeks. Josh Allen, hopefully Justin Herbert. I mean, it's incredible.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
And that guy.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this at the end here. This Colts, Chargers, Raiders, Steelers, Ravens. So it gets a little complicated, but Colts are going to beat the Jaguars, even though statistically they are 0-6 the last 6 times they've played in Jacksonville.
It's very interesting.
It is very interesting. I just want to say that
if the Jaguars win, chaos will reign.
Oh yeah, like the NFL might break.
I mean, that opens the floodgates for so many teams. Like, if you could potentially have the Steelers in the playoffs, oh my god.
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Which I don't think is going to happen, and I don't even think it's really that worth it to even like throw out that scenario because it's just not going to happen. So that means win and you're in. Chargers, Raiders. Well, that no matter what, it's win and you're in. But that's like the final spot. And this game's so awesome. This playoff starts Sunday night with this game, and it is going to be incredible. I hope it lives up to the hype that I have in my head. Only because, on one hand, love the Chargers. I'm always rooting for them, and Justin Herbert, I think, is so fucking good. He blows me away every time I watch him. But on the other hand, how can you not root for the Raiders right now? Everything they've been through this season, and Derek Carr has impressed me more than any other player has this season. How can you not root for the Raiders too? So I don't even care. I just want a good game, and I think the Chargers win.
I think the Chargers win. This is a game on paper they should win. But the Raiders just have that weird thing going on. And the Chargers, for as long as I've known them as a football team, if they do one thing well, it's choke. No, yeah. They have always been like one of the most talented teams in the league. It always happens, and they just never do anything with it. They're there again this season. Like, on paper, the Chargers are maybe the most talented team in football. Like, they're up there. They're really good. But yet, they don't win. And, God, I hope this is one of those spots they do, because Justin Herbert deserves some playoff action. We deserve to see Justin Herbert playoff action because he's so fucking good. But, listen, the Raiders win. Props to him.
Yeah.
Derek Carr has went so high in my, like, mental quarterback rankings.
Mine too. And I was very low on him going into the year, but yeah, he's blown me away. I hope either the Raiders can figure out where they're going or they let him loose. Because either let him on a different team or figure it the fuck out. Because he's been so impressive.
I think next week, because we're pretty much previewing the playoffs now.
Yeah.
I think next week we can do a little
QB
gentle
tier
recap.
list?
It's quarterback tier list, because we have a lot to change, starting with removing Baker Mayfield from any tier list, putting him. He has swapped places. There will no longer be a Daniel Jones tier. It is now the Baker Mayfield tier.
I'm putting Daniel Jones in the Baker Mayfield tier, though.
Yeah. Now we can
crossover.
But Baker has deserved his own tier. It's named after him now, because he is a special kind of stink.
Yeah.
And also the future quarterback of some team next year. It'll be interesting.
Same with who is. I just want to throw it because I think this is a lot of fun to talk about. Who's quarterback for the Browns next year? I'm going to say
Baker.
Yeah, I think it's probably.
I'm going to be a little more fun with this, and I'm going to say Matt Ryan.
I don't think he moves.
We'll see.
I thought Matt Ryan was going to move. I did not realize how much dead cap that would cause for the Falcons. I don't know if they can move him.
Well, I just don't think that, like, Baker's going to move, because the Browns are, like, I don't know, like, outside of the quarterback position, they're, like, ready and poised to be, like, a good team.
Exactly.
You know?
Which is why they need a real quarterback.
Yeah, but, like, they can pick up Baker's fifth-year option, right? That's this upcoming year. So they can still get him for relatively cheap. And who the hell else are they going to sign? That won't break the bank. Like I guess you can make a trade, yeah, but
I don't know what their
cap's not real. Like. Cap's not real. Cap's fake.
It's not real depending on who your owners are.
You can kick the can so far down the road.
Yep.
It's all about turning that money into bonus and all that kind of shit. Like you can really fudge the numbers if you want to, especially for a one season let's go get it type thing. Matt Ryan there would be cool. I would like it. It'd be a good spot for him.
That is a cool ass team if he could land there. I think they shoot up to like top 3 in the AFC with Matt Ryan. That's how much of an upgrade it is. And Matt Ryan's not even that good.
Yeah, let's pump the brakes on Matt Ryan here. It's not like he's that great.
Right, yeah. It's just that team in general gets such a boost. And
it would be a very Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, I think it would be a very Browns thing of them to do if they go out and I'm not sure what the Deshaun Watson situation is, if they would have to
God.
trade for him. But if they traded for him, he played 1 or 2 games. Their team looked incredible. And then he gets booted out of the league forever.
Sentenced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sentenced to Cleveland. I always forget about Deshaun Watson, but he will also be on the move this offseason. It's got to happen. It almost happened at trade deadline, but the crazy thing is, because let's just play in a hypothetical world here. The Ravens are going to come back healthy. They have been so fucking hurt. Ravens come back healthy. They're a playoff team. Browns upgrade at quarterback. They're a playoff team. Burrow, Bengals, they're a playoff team. The Steelers get Aaron Rodgers. That's a playoff team. It's just an interesting division going forward. I'm saying that. They might eat themselves alive.
If the Steelers do not go get a veteran quarterback next season, they are in for a long, tough rebuild.
Why do you say that?
Because there's no quarterbacks on the roster that's going to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't think, unless they draft a rookie quarterback next year who's sensational right away, I don't think they can do it because, they have a lot of cap tied into that defense. Mm-hmm. Their offensive line is putrid. It's just you just got to blow it up. Especially in that division too. It's tough to compete right now because you have 3 teams that are going to be in win now mode and who are much more talented than you. If I'm the Steelers, I'm trading TJ Watt for 3 first-round picks as soon as I can.
I would too.
You're not going to win in the TJ Watt era. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, I would definitely. Unfortunately, it sucks because that team with a better quarterback is fucking nasty. But yeah, you kind of got to blow it up after this. Man, they are in such a weird situation though. You set Mike Tomlin up for failure, and he's 15 seasons in a row above 500. Insane. One of the best, most disrespected coaches in the league.
If he isn't the quarterback to oversee the rebuild, there's something very wrong.
Yeah.
Coach.
And quarterback. Yeah. They're tossing Tomlin in.
Listen, dude, I'd rather him throw the ball than Mason Rudolph. You've seen him? He stinks.
Dude, wait, no, they've got, who was the Washington?
Dwayne
Haskins. Who knows?
Yeah.
I do. He's terrible. Yeah. He couldn't even start over Mason Rudolph this year.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. Let's get back to real playoff teams.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I guess who I know we've ended the last couple episodes like this. Who do you have in the Super Bowl? With what we know now.
I'm sticking with the Packers. Yeah. Obviously, I gave up on the Browns thing a long time ago. That's dead in the water. That was my original pick. My heart wants. I'll tell you what I want the Super Bowl to be. Packers, and then I want the Bengals to go on a magical ride here. I don't think the defense is good enough, but fuck, dude, the offense just might be because that is a juggernaut in Cincinnati on offense. Mm-hmm. But if I'm just looking realistically, it's probably Packers Chiefs, but I'm gonna go Packers Bills.
Okay.
I think the Bills could get. I think the Bills could be playing some good football. I think they're in a really good spot. They're coming in underrated. It's not a lot of just the spotlight is not on Buffalo. I think they can really do it. I think they can make a run.
I still think it's going to be Packers Chiefs. But as the same thing you said, Kyle, about the Bengals, it just reminds me, and I'm very close to switch to the Bengals, but I just want to stick with it. I picked it this is what I'm sticking with.
Yeah.
But the Bengals are clicking on all cylinders at the right time with that offense, and with Joe Burrow, if he can throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns every single game, you have a chance to beat everybody. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And it would be very, very cool to see Joe Burrow in a Super Bowl.
So cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Jamar Chase, the man who can't catch a football.
We were lied to. We were deceived.
He said there's no stripes on the football. They can't see it. I mean, we were fools.
Yep. Originally, I had picked Rams Chiefs, and then I pivoted to Rams Chargers. And I'm so in with you guys on the Bengals being a cool, rootable team. Same with the Bills. Honestly, Titans, but I'm sticking with the team that I switched to eventually, the Chargers. Herbert can do it. Herbert
hope
can.
They get in there first.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm fine with it. I gotta stick with it.
The fucking Raiders. Then
we
can worry about if they can beat the other teams.
I gotta stick with it at this point. I know that team's potential, that ceiling. If they can get on a hot streak right here, I really like them and I'm gonna look at a line now. I want to see what the odds are. I think a dark horse Super Bowl winner, it really is the Chargers, just because of how good Herbert is. I think he can carry, similar to how Burrow can too, and the Bengals are an overall better team. But man, I'm rooting for Justin Herbert. So
I mean, realistically, like it's probably too early for the Bengals. It's probably too early for the Chargers to like take that step to Super Bowl contenders. This will probably just be like good experience for a young team for both of them. But that's what we thought the year the Packers won the Super Bowl when they got in, you know? It was like getting that experience, and it's like, oh shit, they're just hot and very good.
I don't think that for the Bengals. I honestly don't think this is just like, I think if there is like, things are aligning for them this year to be their year. I don't think this is just like, everyone's like, the future's going to be great. Well, like the now's great right now. And I think the window's wide open right now. And like, this is probably the best shot they'll have. Maybe, and this is just how the NFL works, but maybe in Joe Burrow's career. Like, it might be the best shot. You're so healthy. They've been so healthy, and that's so huge in making runs. And again, the AFC, any of these teams could win. They just knocked off the Chiefs. They were the 1 seed. This is the Bengals' year, as far as I'm concerned.
The thing is, though, like, I think the recipe to go to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl, it's been pretty much, you have a really good quarterback, you have weapons on offense, and you need a hell of a pass rush. I don't think the Bengals have that. Trey Hendrickson is really good. Outside of that, I don't know if they have enough juice on that front seven to like generate enough pressure, because I think most of those other teams do. I don't really see it with the Bengals. I think that might be their downfall.
I agree. And I think that's fair. But fucking, if you can toss 500 yards every game, go for it. Go for it. You might just blow them out of the water that way. Chiefs, Bengals,
I would
playoffs.
love it. It would be awesome. It would be sick.
Yeah. We need divisional round Chiefs, Bengals. We need another game because boy, are they two nasty ass teams that I want to see again. And honestly, oh damn it, I almost wish the Chiefs were number 1 seed so we could have like Bills, Chiefs, and also like Bengals, Chargers. I don't know. That'd be cool. It's not going to happen, obviously. But
let me tell you what, we haven't talked about this team, and for good reason.
Hold up 1 second, Zach. Who do you have coming out of the NFC? The Rams still?
Yeah, I just picked them in the beginning of the season. They're in a spot. I don't think they can beat the Packers. Like I said, I'm not scared of them if they come to Lambeau. But I've rocked with them since day one. I just got to keep predicting them now.
Okay.
We haven't talked about 2 teams in the AFC, the Patriots and the Colts. And that is for good reason. I think those are 2 dead teams walking. I think the Patriots are frauds. They haven't played anybody, and when they do, they lose. Yeah. They just beat the shit out of
the Bills
in like the windiest game of all time. I think that's you can't judge a lot by that. And then when they had a normal game, the Bills kind of rocked them.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if Mac Jones just had a great playoffs though.
Yeah, I agree. They're 2 teams that I could also see upset anyone at the same time.
I think they could win a game maybe.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
But I would not bet. Like, who would the Patriots play in this scenario?
In this scenario, they would play the Bills right away, and I would take the Bills in that.
I would definitely take the Bills. Yeah. But if they played like the Bengals, I don't know about that. That feels like a bad matchup for the Bengals.
Can we pause for a second? Kyle, I just need you to unplug your mic and plug it back in for me. Dude, I saw you messing with it. I was like, okay, I know I'm not the only one who's hearing it.
Yeah, no, I was like, fuck, that's gotta be me.
There's this little like buzzing noise. It's like interference almost or something. I thought I was tripping. I thought it was me. And then I see Zach messing with his headphones. And I was like, okay, I know it's not just me.
Yeah.
This is no better.
I still hear it. It sounds better. It sounds better.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Like
Wait. We got our Super Bowl picks. We can call it a day.
He was that fuck. Nothing.
No, we can hear you.
No, you're good now. Yeah, you're good now.
Better?
Yeah.
Like, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Do we need to cut it? Is it that bad?
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got our Super Bowl picks. We can call it an episode here. Any last words for the people?
Go Pack, go.
Can't wait for some Jordan Love action this week. Very excited about that.
Matt LaFleur did come out and say that he's going to play to win the game. I guess that doesn't mean...
Which means they'll play half the football. I think they play 2 quarters, if even.
I think a good quarter. If it was up to me, I'd say 1 good quarter, and then give us the real future of the franchise.
I really want. He's been doing individual drills. Actually, both of them, Josh Myers and Bakhtiari.
Yeah.
Really hope they can at least get a little game action in, because I just want to bring this up. I know we're doing the last stuff, but this is a hypothetical that I don't really know the answer to. What do you do? Do you play a Bakhtiari who essentially hasn't played all season, or do you stick with Josh Neiman, who is like a 3rd string guy, but he's played so well? Like, what do you even do?
I test the waters.
Going into the playoffs or
playoffs
or week 18?
Divisional.
No, playoffs.
Divisional.
You have to play David Bakhtiari.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to play him. You have to start him. Yeah, you do. I mean, David Bakhtiari, the last time we've seen, for the last, 4 years, he's been arguably the best left tackle in football. You can't just not play him. If you throw him out there and he's getting cooked in the first quarter, then you maybe think about taking him out. I agree. But you have to play a guy like that.
Yeah, if he's fully healthy.
1 quarter in the playoffs might be enough to sink you.
Well, maybe it's not 1 quarter. Maybe if you're out there for two series and it's like he just doesn't have it, I
just think it's an interesting thought. A better one is John Runyon, who's been playing at center, or Josh Myers, a rookie. I mean, who hasn't he's been okay, but he hasn't been that damn good.
Yeah, no, I'm running with Runyon.
I would rather go with Runyon too, because the offensive line, as a unit, has been great.
Yeah, it's crazy. We have a wizard at offensive line coaching. We've got a wizard because he is making it work.
And shout out to Gutekunst for having this much offensive line depth. I mean, signing Dennis Kelly, and he ended up being our 4th string tackle who had 16 games of starting experience last season. What a luxury in your 4th tackle to have. That's amazing.
Yep. Yeah. Again, he is just proving that how good he is. Yeah. It's insane.
Ooh.
And one last little playoff prediction. Just the way these Packers, random pickups have went this year. Devondre Campbell's been awesome. Roswell Douglas, out of absolutely nowhere, becoming a superstar. David Moore, the guy he just signed, he just returned punts for us last week. He had a 21-yard punt return, which was our longest somehow in 3 years, which is sad.
Oh, 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh.
I thought Swerve and Urban had some nice returns, but I guess I was wrong.
Maybe not, but David Moore is going to take a punt to the house in the playoffs.
Let's fucking go.
Okay.
Let's fucking go.
I'm telling you. It's just the way the Gutekunst devil magic is gone this year.
Good.
It would just be so right. I really want him to be the punt returner over
Amari.
Yeah, Amari Rodgers.
Yeah. All right. Well, that does it here from the Farmcast. We'll let the listeners escape Kyle's mic of wrath.
It's only been the last couple minutes. It's not so bad.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see you on the next episode of the Farmcast. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Comment your Super Bowl prediction. We'll give if you predict it right, we'll give you something maybe. And we'll see you in the next episode of the Farmcast.
I'll give
Bye.
you something.